Oh no, another video about keyword research. Like you haven't seen that for 1,000 times. Look, keyword research should be so easy that a monkey could do it. But why do these tools make it so effing hard? There's fantastic data in most SEO platforms, SEMrush, Ahrefs, just to name a few. But they bury it behind this incredibly annoying UX UI. Frankly, when you're an SEO professional like me, you're always on clock and you always kind of feel like you're behind the eight ball. There's always clients who need quarterly refreshes, strategies that need pivoting. Truth is, search is a constantly evolving landscape. So, one second, I'm gonna set this monkey down. Don't ask me why I have this statue. All right, you're not here to learn that. You're here to learn some keyword research done the easiest way using Saagasolve, an agentic digital marketing platform. All right, so right here I've got a very simple prompt pulled up. All of these prompts will be shared, of course. And what I'm going to do in Saagasolve's agent called SEO Pals is say, run a traditional keyword research workflow for Saagasolve.com, which will be our guinea pig for this exercise. I'm going to give it a seed keyword, AI SEO. Seed keyword, you can imagine as your big idea, right? So for instance, if I was a bookstore in Dallas, my seed keyword would be bookstore in Dallas, right? So it's your your number one keyword. Think if I could just rank for one thing, one keyword only, what would that keyword be? And that's usually a pretty good place to start for your seed keyword. So I'm going to say use these SEMrush tools in this order. Wait, Laura, this is Saagasolve. Why are we talking about SEMrush? The great thing about Saagasolve is it synthesizes data across all your traditional SEO tools. It synthesizes data across SEMrush, across Ahrefs. It could plug into your Google Search Console, your Google Analytics. It can use Firecrawl, which is a web crawler and scraper, to actually scrape results or web pages to understand them from a business perspective. And so all I have to do is say, use SEMrush, pull these tools I would manually have to go to SEMrush for, or pages I would manually have to open up in SEMrush, synthesize the data, work in a million spreadsheets. You guys know the drill, I'm sure. I'm going to tell exactly what to pull where. And yeah, just punching in all these different items to help guide Saagasolve, give it some instruction. Again, you don't need to memorize any of this. All these prompts or workflows are provided. So if you can copy and paste, you can do exactly what I'm doing now. As you can see, Saagasolve instantly fired off. It fired off Firecrawl. That's what I was talking about, where it's actually going to go and scrape. In this case here, it's pulling out landing pages, and it pulled up the sitemap. Fantastic. Didn't even have to tell it to do that. So it has a really strong intuition of what to do. You notice I'm clicking on the bubbles here to actually see what it's pulling. I've noticed other platforms, let's say Claude, when you're using an MCP, will obfuscate the actual data it's pulling. Not Saagasolve. It's way more transparent than any other agentic marketing platform I use, where if I want to dig into the data it pulled to use its analysis, to form its analysis, I can simply click that respective bubble, see what tool it called via API, and see all that data neatly organized for myself, right? Because we love agentic marketing platforms. They've been a huge time saver for me, but it's not a replacement for human judgment. And so being able to have that control and that layer of visibility has been a real game changer in just trusting this platform and moving my workflows over to it. Okay, so as you can see, the wealth of data it pulled because we're prompting it not to use Ahrefs, but it kind of has that habit to do so. It pulls it and cancels it out. So very strict and true to the prompt there. Fantastic. So, and I want to call this out. Every little box you see here, that is a tool I would have had to pull manually. I would have had to go to SEMrush, pull that report, look through the data, export it, analyze it, synthesize it. I mean, who has the time for this, right? It's just there's a better way now, right? And again, we're not saying SEMrush isn't relevant anymore. We're saying there's a better way to access the data and to leverage the data from your favorite tools. We're not replacing your workflow. We're making it way more efficient to access it and leverage it. All right, so it spat out this report. Let's take a look here. So it gives us an executive summary. So Saagasolve is an early stage AI SEO platform competing in a high growth, increasingly crowded market, blah, 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 blah. The opportunity is enormous, so validating that, the C keyword is good. So first it looks at the C keyword, pulls some variations, right? So AI SEO, AI SEO tools. I could also expand this. Some of those items were truncated. AI SEO software, best AI SEO tools. You see the point. Also showing me the trend. Really nice synthesizing of the data there. Showing me the SERP features. This is awesome. So it's actually looking at the SERP landscape and studies that SEMrush did as recently as 2025 and showed that, hey, AI overviews are appearing on 15 to 25% of informational AI SEO queries, meaning top of funnel content faces AI competition. So this is fantastic, right? It's not only showing me keyword research, your standard, what's the keyword, what's the search volume, what's the keyword difficulty, what's the intent, those standard metrics. It's taking it a step further and showing me what the composition of search looks like, because that's going to greatly impact my strategy, right? If something has an AI overview, that's more than likely what we call zero-click environment, where people are going to be satiated by that AI overview answer and not click into the organic results. So as I'm starting a keyword, attack plan, maybe I won't prioritize those AI overview keywords as much if I know that it's very difficult to actually gain a click from that, right? So just, again, great data, things I wouldn't get from SEMrush directly without digging and coming to those conclusions myself. Section 2 is a broader keyword universe. So we saw partial matches here, right? It has to have AI SEO or at least AI in it. Here we're expanding that. So SEO tools, right? So maybe someone's not searching for AI SEO platform specifically, but if they're looking for SEO tools, this certainly fits the bill. Keyword research tool, et cetera, et cetera. Then we got phrase match keywords, exact match, and long tail keywords. Related keywords, these are adjacent opportunities, topical authority, topical cluster, content brief, content gap analysis. So it's really, thinking about the whole keyword universe and running those reports just like a human would do to get a comprehensive understanding on what this keyword universe and landscape looks like. We've got commercial modifiers. This is really cool, right? So, best AI SEO tool. SERP for SEO versus Saagasolve, which is another AI SEO tool specifically focused on content, right? So again, we're taking it another step further, where it's kind of implicit that I can create pages around this, right, to target those XVY keywords. I'm going to put a pin in that because when we're done with the actual keywords, it actually looks at the pages of your site as well, helps assign some of those keywords. Oh my gosh, this is such a time saver. I cannot tell you, personally, it's the most annoying thing for me as an SEO to take a keyword list and then have to map it to the actual pages that exist on site and figure out, okay, if there's not a good page for it, I have to create that page. It's a necessary but tedious process. And, we're talking about Saagasolve, which is pretty early on in its website stage. Imagine if you have an e-commerce client that has 10,000 something pages minimum. I mean, again, who has the time for this? So if you're an SEO professional and you don't want to pull your hair out, this is again that efficiency, but especially if you're a solopreneur or a smaller team where you're actually impacted on a profit level basis by the time you or your team is spending, this is a fantastic way to make sure you are operating a lean, mean, and efficient machine, right? Because you imagine if I onboard a client, I'm going to spend, let's say 5 to 10 hours just doing that early stage research. My client can't get deliverables to the first 2 weeks or a month because I'm just bogged down in research. I mean, if you have a tool like this, imagine those hours saved and how that impacts your economies of scale and how many clients you can take on with the same team. Or the other side of that coin, how much better results and more deliverables you can give to that same client for really the same retainer costs, right? So some things to keep in mind on the practical implications, not just for an SEO, but also if you are in that entrepreneur or solopreneur seat. All right. This is what I said we're going to put a pin in because I was kind of teasing this out, but it also goes a step further to create some of that strategy for you and some recommendations. So it's saying, hey, we want to create these pages. This is a cluster 1, core commercial cluster. Target keyword, what is AI SEO? How does AI SEO work? Type of page. And even a step further saying, we're not even just going to say just a generic blog. We're going to say what that blog is when it's appropriate, right? For here, we're going to do a listicle. For here, we're going to do a definition blog. And for here, these are more your standard blog types. So again, just that level of detail. And again, just, we did not start with that grueling of a prompt, right? It's not like it's just following the prompt to a T here. It has that intuition baked into the platform. And that's really important for you, right? Because imagine if your agentic marketing software, whatever you're using to help power and make you efficient throughout your day, was reliant almost, on a glass floor level of you putting in just the perfect prompt. And if you miss one thing, well, it's not going to assume and go that extra mile for you. I mean, that's again where some of the annoyance and inefficiencies come from. But because we're using agents that are already built by Saagasolve, and in fact, there's marketplace of other agents built by other SEO professionals, and you can certainly build your own agents, it has that what I call intuition that you simply don't get from a lot of other tools, even in the agentic marketing space, to say, hey, I kind of already know what to look for. The prompt is a great direction to point me in, but I also know to be considerate of all these other things. So I'm giving the most helpful answer possible right out the gate. So really, really love to see that. So we don't have to go through this too much, but it gives me tier 1, quick wins, just helping me prioritize that if I were to amortize this across 18 months. I certainly don't want to wait 18 months to, execute on some of these things. And that's really where human comes in, right? Because, look, if I onboarded a client and said it's going to take 18 months to execute this keyword research plan, not a lot of people are that patient. Attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. And congrats to you if you're still watching this. You probably have a better attention span than most. So what's great about Saagasolve is you can actually click right into that section and add your feedback. So if I did want to go back to our little SEO pal here and say, hey, I want to amortize this work across 6 months actually and get a new content roadmap for that, I could absolutely do that. So yeah, really great stuff from Saagasolve as usual. And again, my name is Laura Cardona. I'm a seasoned SEO, and this prompt will be shared with you. Hope you found some value in this. Have a great day.